Cork is the biggest county in Ireland.
So how do we even begin to explore it in just 3 days?
In this video, we're taking on the challenge.
From colourful towns
to wild coastal views.
We're packing as much as possible into one unforgettable trip. Is it doable? Was it even worth coming all the way from beautiful Donegal to see?
Let's find out.
If you're new around here, we are Mark and Asa and you're watching Something to Remember. And after a long break, we are back. The reason we haven't posted in 10 months is because I was in the process of moving to Ireland, visa application and all that boring paperwork stuff, but now I'm officially an Irish resident. So we set off to Cork from our home in Donegal.
It's a long journey from the very north of the country to the very south, so we broke up the route with a night in Galway. Any excuse for some live music and a pint in the best city in Ireland, right? And after 3 more hours and a beautiful drive through County Kerry, we finally made it to the Cork side of the Beara Peninsula. We had been planning a trip here for quite a while and thought it was a popular place, so we certainly didn't expect to find empty roads in such a spectacular place. It certainly screamed Irish hidden gem.
Here, the journey is the destination. You don't drive around the Beara Peninsula to tick off famous sites, you drive around it to soak in the scenery. It's all about winding roads that hug dramatic coastline, roll through bare mountains, cling to cliff edges and pass through charming, colourful villages. We struggled to find a lot of specific spots during our research, and now we get why. This part of Ireland isn't really about specific landmarks or attractions. Every turn offers a new view that makes you want to pull over and just take it all in.
But anyway, some points on the Beara Peninsula to stick into your Google Maps to keep you right along your journey should include Iries, Allihies and Ballydonegan Beach. Because it's so scenic, the whole drive around the Beara Peninsula took us 4 hours, and after the long scenic drive it was time to finally stop at our accommodation for the night.
Ireland is quite expensive, and if your main goal is to see natural attractions and not to experience cultural stuff in the cities, our best advice is to find Airbnbs that are not in the town centers but sometimes in the middle of nowhere or sometimes in these cute little villages. Like this is Durrus and it's literally like 20 minutes away from Mizen Head, and we're staying here tonight. And I found this Airbnb is absolutely great, but it's like 40 euro cheaper than it would be up the road in bigger town of Bantry. Now we are going for a few pints here because of course a place like this also has pubs.
I am, as you will know if you followed this channel for a good while, I'm a big Guinness drinker. But down here in Cork, they don't really drink Guinness as much as they do in other parts of the country because they have 2 of their own stouts, and they are Beamish and Murphy's. Out here in West Cork, to be honest, I didn't do much research as to what they drink where, but in the first pub I went into there, it was all Murphy's and they didn't have any Beamish.
It's really nice, got a bit more flavour to it than Guinness.
So now I'm continuing my research and I'm going into the next pub. I think it's the only other pub in Durrus. I'm going to see if they have Beamish. And if not, then I can deduce that they only drink Murphy's in West Cork and Beamish in maybe Cork City. But I will confirm that later on in the video. Cork just keeps getting more beautiful and more beautiful. We're just finished the drive to Mizen Head from our accommodation at Durrus, and it was a lovely drive here. The only thing is I would warn you about, the visitor centre doesn't actually open until 10:30. It's April, not sure if that changes in the summer, but we're here at about 10:20. Luckily we didn't get up at the crack of dawn and come because we would have been disappointed. But it opens at 10:30, so we're just chilling now for 10 minutes and we're going to go to what is actually Ireland's most southerly point, Mizen Head.
Once the gates opened, we were greeted by absolutely stunning scenery. Dramatic cliffs, crashing waves and that iconic bridge stretching out to the old signal station. Originally built to watch over transatlantic ships, it is now one of the best spots to witness the sheer power and beauty of the Atlantic Ocean.
We couldn't believe our luck with the weather. Blue skies, sunshine and no wind. Something that's pretty rare for this spot, which is usually known for its fierce Atlantic gales. This area is also famous for marine wildlife, and we were lucky enough to spot some seals hunting for their breakfast.
This place is class. I don't know why I wasn't really expecting it to be as good as it is, but honestly, blown away. You know on this channel that we are the biggest hypocrites ever. Even though we're tourists, we don't really like seeing other tourists. Joke. It's quiet. The people here are so friendly and just so worth it. I can't say any more than that. So worth it. And overall, Cork just so far,
come on, like.
From Mizen Head, we hit the road towards the old Head of Kinsale, driving through some of the most picturesque towns in West Cork. We are in the town of Skibbereen, which is... Cork is one of the places in Ireland with accent which is really hard to understand.
I haven't a clue what's going on, to be honest. At home, I'd say there's mad excitement altogether.
It's a pity we're missing the whole thing out here.
Paul O'Donovan, he's a double Olympic gold medalist. He's from Skibbereen, and when him and the other fella, sorry, I can't remember his name, when they won gold in Rio for the first time, they were on an interview on RTE, and they were basically speaking in a really thick Skibbereen accent.
It's good crack, watch it.
It is also home to the West Cork Irish Whiskey Distillery, and if you don't get as lucky as we did with the weather, definitely make a stop here for a tour. Or head to the Clonakilty Distillery for a taste of their local spirit. The drive from Clonakilty to Galley Head Lighthouse is surrounded by stunning coastal scenery and is definitely worth a wee detour.
This is actually quite a sad moment, because this means that we've actually completed what we think is everywhere along the Wild Atlantic Way. This is officially the last stop on the south side of the Wild Atlantic Way. It is the old Head of Kinsale. As you can see, it's a wee bit blustery here, but thankfully we have our trusty DJI mic, so hopefully I'm coming in loud and clear. The cliffs are really cool. Like you just park the car and then you just walk about 50 meters and you can get these nice view of the cliffs. But don't go too close because fairly unprotected. My mother won't be too happy with me.
If you feel like it, you can also take a hike to Three Castle Head or visit the Baltimore Beacon. But for us, we were happy with our fill of sightseeing in West Cork, so we made our way to the lovely town of Kinsale.
Known for its colorful streets, lively vibe, and fantastic seafood, Kinsale didn't disappoint. While Kinsale is famous for its fine dining, we opted for a quick stop at the chip van along the river called Fisherman's Catch for some of the best fish and chips we've ever had.
Every night on this trip, we ended with a pint of the local stout in a cozy bar. It's kind of a tradition of ours. Upon extensive research, I also made a major discovery.
Murphy's nicer.
Guinness?
Don't put me on the spot like that.
We found Murphy's is more popular in West Cork, and Beamish is the stout of choice as you get closer to Cork City. Anyway, if you're in Kinsale, we highly recommend the Greyhound pub. Great pints and that classic Irish pub vibe. As if all those colourful towns weren't enough, the next morning we headed to the mother of all colourful towns in County Cork, Cobh. Honestly, we were starting to think every town in County Cork must have a deal with the government to fund their paint jobs. They're all just so vibrant.
But really, Cobh's colourful waterfront houses add so much character to the town, and with St. Colman's Cathedral towering above it, it's a sight you won't forget.
We weren't actually quite sure where to come specifically to get this view. It's a wee place called Westview Park, and there's a wee green area and some plaques and some places to sit, and it'll be a nice place to take lunch actually and have a nice view of the colourful buildings and the cathedral. As if there wasn't already enough interesting things to tell you about Cork, Cobh was actually also the last port of call for the Titanic. It's a wee memorial at the port where it took off.
All roads in Cork eventually lead to Cork City, the second largest city in Ireland. Like many big Irish cities, it's full of grand cathedral and scenic riverside walks with a lively, laid-back vibe that makes it easy to enjoy. But for us, it was just a quick stop on the way home, a flying visit to stretch our legs, grab a coffee, and to be honest, a self-proclaimed box-ticking exercise. Last stop on our trip to Cork was a stop off at one of the most popular tourist attractions in the whole country.
Blarney is a wee town that's behind the camera there, and the main attraction here is of course the Blarney Castle. We are not going onto the grounds of the Blarney Castle just because we don't really think it's worth it. For me and Asya to go in to explore the castle gardens and go up the castle would have cost us €46, which is fair enough if you are in Ireland for the first time and you're passing by or it's on your tour. By all means, go and explore the castle. But for us, we've seen an awful lot of castles, some even more spectacular and definitely as spectacular as Blarney Castle. So we're just going to skip it. I've actually been there before when I was small and it is nice, but you can find better, more authentic castle experiences pretty much everywhere else in the country, so don't bother. Exhibit A, this castle is only 20 minutes up the road. It's called Mallow Castle. We just stopped here actually on the way up the road, but this is one of the only places in Ireland where you can see native white deer, and apparently they've been here as long as the castle have been here, which dates back to the mid 16th century. So that's way cooler than Blarney Castle. And It's free.
So, as Mark said, we're on the way home here, and with that, Mallow Castle ends our adventures around County Cork.
For the past couple of years, we've been travelling around Ireland trying to find somewhere that comes close to being as nice as Donegal is. And in my opinion, the biggest compliment I could give to Cork is that I think it's right up there in terms of beauty and the authenticity and just a raw Irish feeling. And if you go to Cork, we're sure you're going to have something to remember just like us.